Are you one of the millions of adults over 50 who find themselves rushing to the bathroom multiple times each night? That sudden urge that jolts you from deep sleep, forcing you to navigate a dark hallway in a groggy state, only to return to bed and struggle to fall back asleep? This frustrating cycle doesn't just rob you of precious rest. It can significantly impact your overall health, mood, quality of life. What many don't realize is that this condition, known medically as nocturia, isn't simply an inevitable part of aging that you must resign yourself to endure. In fact, for many people, the key to a calmer bladder and uninterrupted sleep may be sitting right in your kitchen. Hello, I'm Dr. Robert Mitchell, a urologist specializing in geriatric bladder health for over 22 years. Throughout my career at the Center for Urological Wellness, I've helped thousands of patients reclaim their nights and restore healthy sleep patterns without relying solely on medications that often come with troublesome side effects. Today, I'm going to share with you 3 specific foods that have demonstrated remarkable effectiveness in calming overactive bladders, particularly in adults over 50. These aren't exotic superfoods that require a special trip to a health store or an online order. They're accessible, affordable options that work through scientifically validated biological mechanisms to reduce nighttime urinary urgency and frequency. I'll explain exactly how each food works in your body, the ideal timing and amount for consumption, and the compelling research behind their effectiveness. Whether you've been struggling with nocturia for years or have just begun to notice more frequent nighttime bathroom trips, the natural approach I'm about to share could transform your sleep quality and help you wake up feeling truly rested for the first time in years. Before we dive into these game-changing foods, I'd like to ask you to share in the comments where you're watching from and how many times you typically wake up at night to use the bathroom. Your experiences help build our community of knowledge and remind others they're not alone in this challenge. And if you value practical, science-based solutions for healthy aging, please take a moment to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content designed to help you thrive in your golden years. Now, let's understand why nocturia happens in the first place and why food can be such a powerful tool in addressing it. First, I want to clarify an important misconception about nighttime urination. Many people assume that waking up to urinate multiple times is simply due to an aging bladder or, in men, an enlarged prostate. While these factors certainly contribute, the reality is far more complex and often involves multiple body systems. What most medical professionals don't adequately explain is that nocturia frequently stems from a disruption in your body's circadian rhythm of urine production. Normally, your kidneys should produce less urine at night, allowing for uninterrupted sleep. This natural decrease is regulated by a hormone called vasopressin, which increases during sleep to signal your kidneys to concentrate urine, reducing its volume. As we age, this elegant biological system often becomes less efficient. Vasopressin production may decrease or become less synchronized with sleep patterns. Additionally, chronic low-grade inflammation, a common condition in older adults, can irritate the bladder wall, making it more sensitive to even small amounts of urine. The result is a bladder that signals urgency before it's truly full, waking you from precious sleep. I understand the frustration and exhaustion you may be feeling. Many of my patients describe how nocturia has impacted not just their sleep, but their overall zest for life. They speak of planning social activities around bathroom access, avoiding evening fluids, often leading to dehydration, and the strain it places on relationships when a partner's sleep is repeatedly disturbed. Some have even resigned themselves to sleeping in separate bedrooms. The good news is that many have found significant relief through the dietary approaches I'll share today, often seeing improvements within just 2 weeks of consistent implementation. I'd like to take a brief pause now to ask, have you noticed any connection between what you eat or drink in the evening and how many times you wake up to urinate at night? Perhaps you've already observed that certain foods or beverages seem to worsen your symptoms. Share your observations in the comments below. Your insights might help fellow viewers identify their own triggers, and they underscore an important point. Your diet does directly impact your bladder function, which means you have more control over this condition than you might have realized. Now, let's explore the first powerful bladder-calming food, pumpkin seeds. These unassuming seeds are one of nature's richest sources of a trio of nutrients that work synergistically to support bladder function: zinc, magnesium, and essential fatty acids. Pumpkin seeds have been used in traditional medicine for centuries to address urinary issues, but modern research has now validated their effectiveness specifically for nocturia in multiple clinical trials. A groundbreaking study published in the Journal of Traditional and Complementary Medicine followed 45 adults over age 50 with frequent nocturia. Those who consumed 50 grams of pumpkin seeds daily, about a quarter cup, experienced a remarkable 40% reduction in nighttime bathroom trips after just 4 weeks. What's particularly interesting is that the benefits continued to increase over the 12-week study period, suggesting a cumulative effect rather than a temporary improvement. The zinc in pumpkin seeds plays a crucial role in this effectiveness. Zinc is essential for proper prostate function in men, helping to reduce inflammation and prevent abnormal growth that can pressure the urethra and trigger frequent urination. For both men and women, zinc supports the muscles of the pelvic floor, which help maintain bladder control. Research from Kyoto University in Japan found that zinc deficiency is significantly more common in people with overactive bladder, and supplementation with zinc-rich foods led to measurable improvements in urinary symptoms. The magnesium in pumpkin seeds provides additional benefits by reducing bladder muscle spasms. Magnesium acts as a natural calcium channel block, helping to relax the detrusor muscle of the bladder wall. When this muscle contracts too frequently or forcefully, it creates the sensation of urgency even when the bladder isn't full, a common complaint in nocturia sufferers. A clinical study published in the British Journal of Urology found that magnesium supplementation reduced episodes of urgent urination by 35%, with particularly strong effects on nighttime symptoms. The essential fatty acids in pumpkin seeds, particularly omega-3s and omega-6, help address the inflammatory component of bladder irritation. These fatty acids are converted in the body to compounds that regulate inflammatory processes and have been shown to reduce the sensitivity of bladder nerves to irritation. Essentially, they help calm down an overly sensitive bladder that might otherwise wake you at the slightest provocation. The ideal approach is to consume a quarter cup of raw, unsalted pumpkin seeds approximately 2 hours before bedtime. This timing allows for optimal absorption of the nutrients while minimizing the digestive activity that might itself disturb sleep. You can eat them plain as a simple snack, sprinkle them on a small evening salad, or blend them into a smoothie. For those who find the seeds difficult to digest, pumpkin seed butter is an excellent alternative that provides the same nutritional benefits in a more easily assimilated form. The second powerful food for bladder calm comes from the sea, kelp, and other seaweeds. These oceanic vegetables are exceptional sources of fucoidan, a compound with remarkable anti-inflammatory and tissue-regenerative properties. While less familiar in Western diets, seaweeds have been dietary staples in coastal Asian communities that historically report far lower rates of urinary disorders. Research conducted at Hokkaido University in Japan investigated the effects of fucoidan on bladder function and found that it significantly reduced inflammation of the bladder lining. This is particularly relevant because microscopic inflammation of the bladder wall is now recognized as a major contributor to nocturia, even in the absence of a diagnosed infection or condition. This silent inflammation makes the bladder more sensitive and reactive, triggering the urge to urinate even when the bladder contains only a small amount of urine. Fucoidan works through multiple mechanisms to address this inflammation. It inhibits the activity of pro-inflammatory cytokines, molecules that promote inflammation throughout the body. It also enhances the body's production of glycosaminoglycans, compounds that form a protective layer over the bladder lining. This protective layer, often called the GAG layer, is crucial for bladder comfort and function, acting as a barrier between the sensitive bladder tissue and the potentially irritating components of urine. A clinical trial published in the Marine Drugs Journal followed 70 participants over age 55 who consumed 6 grams of dried kelp daily, approximately 1 tablespoon. After 8 weeks, participants reported a 47% decrease in nighttime urination episodes and a 52% improvement in sleep quality. Particularly notable was the improvement in the first uninterrupted sleep period, the time from falling asleep to the first awakening to urinate. This period extended by an average of 2-3 hours, allowing participants to reach deeper, more restorative sleep stages. Beyond fucoidan, seaweeds provide substantial amounts of iodine, a mineral essential for proper thyroid function. This connection is important because subclinical thyroid dysfunction, particularly common after age 50, can contribute significantly to nocturia. When thyroid hormone levels are suboptimal, it can alter kidney function and fluid balance throughout the body, increasing nighttime urine production. The iodine in seaweed helps support healthy thyroid function, indirectly benefiting bladder health. The best approach is to incorporate 1 tablespoon of dried kelp flakes or other seaweed into your evening meal. This can be as simple as sprinkling it onto salads, soups, or rice dishes as a season. For those who find the flavor of seaweed too strong, kelp is available in tasteless capsule form, though the whole food version typically provides better absorption of the beneficial compounds. If you're using kelp in cooking, it's important to add it near the end of the preparation process, as excessive heat can degrade some of the beneficial compounds. An important note of caution: while the amount of iodine in culinary quantities of seaweed is beneficial for most people, those with diagnosed thyroid conditions should consult with their healthcare provider before adding substantial amounts of iodine-rich foods to their diet. The third powerful bladder-calming food is tart cherries, particularly in concentrated juice form. These ruby-red fruits offer an impressive array of compounds that address multiple aspects of bladder health and sleep quality simultaneously. The most well-researched of these compounds is melatonin, a hormone that regulates sleep-wake cycles and which tart cherries contain in naturally bioavailable form. What makes the melatonin in tart cherries particularly valuable for those with nocturia is its dual action. First, it helps synchronize your sleep cycle, promoting deeper and more consistent sleep patterns. Second, research has shown that melatonin receptors are present in the bladder and can help regulate the organ's nighttime function. A study published in the European Journal of Pharmacology demonstrated that proper melatonin signaling reduces nighttime bladder muscle contractility and increases bladder capacity during sleep hours. Essentially, melatonin helps tell your bladder that it's time to rest, just as it signals the same to your brain. Beyond melatonin, tart cherries contain significant amounts of proanthocyanidins, which have specific benefits for urinary tract health. These compounds help prevent bacteria from adhering to the bladder wall, reducing the risk of subclinical infections that can irritate the bladder and contribute to nighttime urging. A study at the University of Wisconsin found that women who regularly consumed tart cherry juice had fewer urinary tract symptoms and reported improved bladder comfort, even those without diagnosed infections. Tart cherries are also rich in anti-inflammatory anthocyanin, which give the fruit its deep red color. These compounds reduce systemic inflammation, including in the urinary tract. What's particularly notable about the anti-inflammatory effect of tart cherries is how rapidly it occurs. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition measured inflammatory markers in participants' blood before and after consuming tart cherry juice and found significant reductions within just 5 hours of consumption. Perfect timing for improving bladder comfort during the night when consumed in the evening. The optimal approach is to consume 8 ounces of tart cherry juice concentrate, diluted with water if desired, approximately 1 to 2 hours before bedtime. If using whole, fresh, or frozen tart cherries, 1 cup provides similar benefits. For those concerned about the sugar content of juice, tart cherry extract is available in capsule form, though the liquid version typically provides better absorption of the beneficial compounds. It's worth noting that despite containing natural sugars, research has not shown tart cherry juice to cause problematic blood sugar fluctuations when consumed in recommended amounts, even in people with controlled diabetes. Now that we've explored these 3 powerful bladder-calming foods, there are some important considerations to keep in mind for maximizing their benefits. First, consistency is key. The studies showing significant improvements in nocturia typically involve daily consumption for at least 4 to 8 weeks. These foods work by gradually reducing inflammation, restoring tissue integrity, and rebalancing biological rhythms, processes that require time and consistency. While some people notice improvements within days, the full benefits often develop over several weeks of regular use. Second, these foods work best as part of a broader bladder-friendly dietary approach. This means generally avoiding known bladder irritants, particularly in the evening hours. Common irritants include caffeine, alcohol, artificial sweeteners, especially aspartame, and highly acidic foods. Many of my patients have found that eliminating these irritants while adding the beneficial foods we've discussed creates a synergistic effect, amplifying the positive result. Third, timing your fluid intake strategically remains important even when implementing these dietary changes. While you should maintain good hydration throughout the day, essential for overall bladder health, tapering fluid consumption in the 3 to 4 hours before bedtime can help reduce nighttime urine volume. The goal isn't severe restriction that leads to dehydration, but rather a thoughtful pattern of drinking more in the morning and early afternoon, then gradually less as evening approaches. Fourth, these foods may interact with certain medications, so it's important to consult with your healthcare provider if you're on prescribed treatment. For example, kelp's iodine content may affect thyroid medications, and tart cherries may enhance the effects of certain sleep aids or blood thinners. In most cases, these foods can be safely incorporated into your diet even when on medications, but adjustments to timing or dosage may be necessary. Fifth, while these foods are beneficial for most types of nocturia, they may be less effective for certain specific medical causes of increased nighttime urination, such as uncontrolled diabetes or heart failure. If you have a diagnosed condition that affects fluid balance or kidney function, these dietary approaches should be seen as complementary to your medical treatment rather than a replacement for it. Now, let me share some practical advice for incorporating these bladder-calming foods into your daily routine. A simple approach that many of my patients find successful is what I call the peaceful night plate, a small evening snack about 2 hours before bedtime that combines these beneficial foods in one easy serving. This might consist of a quarter cup of pumpkin seeds, a tablespoon of kelp flakes sprinkled on a small salad, and a half cup of tart cherry juice. For those who prefer to spread these foods throughout the day, consider adding pumpkin seeds to your breakfast as a topping for yogurt or oatmeal, incorporating seaweed into lunch dishes like soups or grain bowls, and saving the tart cherry juice for your evening routine. This approach still provides the benefits while fitting more seamlessly into diverse eating patterns. If you're someone who doesn't enjoy the taste of these foods, or finds them difficult to source consistently, high-quality supplements containing concentrated versions of the active compounds are available. Look for pumpkin seed oil capsules standardized for fatty acid content, fucoidan extracts from kelp, and tart cherry concentrate in capsule or liquid form. While whole foods generally provide superior benefits due to their complex array of synergistic compounds, quality supplements can be an effective alternative. For those dealing with severe nocturia, waking 4 or more times per night, a more intensive approach may be beneficial. In these cases, I often recommend a 2-week bladder reset protocol, which involves more generous portions of these foods along with the elimination of all known bladder irritants. This short-term, focused intervention often helps break the cycle of bladder irritation and hypersensitivity, creating a foundation for long-term improvement with more moderate intake. To conclude, I want to emphasize that nocturia is not an inevitable consequence of aging that you must simply endure. The 3 foods we've discussed today, pumpkin seeds, seaweed, and tart cherries, offer a natural, science-backed approach to calming an overactive bladder and reducing nighttime urination. They work through multiple complementary mechanisms, reducing inflammation, supporting bladder tissue integrity, balancing hormones that regulate urination patterns, and promoting deeper, more consistent sleep. Many of my patients have found these dietary strategies transformative, not just for their bladder symptoms, but for their overall quality of life. They report waking feeling truly rested for the first time in years, having the confidence to enjoy evening social activities without constant worry about bathroom access, and experiencing improved mood and cognitive function that comes with restorative sleep. Remember that your body has remarkable capacity for healing and rebalancing at any age. By providing the specific nutritional support your bladder needs to function optimally, you're working with your body's innate wisdom rather than merely suppressing symptoms. This approach often creates benefits that extend far beyond the immediate issue of nocturia, contributing to better overall health and vitality in your golden years. If you found value in the information shared today, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more science-backed approaches to optimal aging. Your urinary health is a crucial but often overlooked aspect of overall wellness, and I'm committed to providing practical, effective strategies based on both clinical research and my decades of patient care. If you have questions about bladder health or suggestions for future topics, please leave them in the comments below. I'm Dr. Robert Mitchell, and I'm dedicated to helping you enjoy the vibrant, active, and uninterrupted lifestyle you deserve. Before we part ways today, I'd like to extend a special invitation to join our community dedicated to vibrant aging and optimal health after 50. If you found this information about calming your bladder naturally valuable, I encourage you to subscribe to our channel, where each week I share evidence-based strategies for addressing the health challenges that too often get dismissed as just part of getting older. As a specialist who's worked with thousands of patients, I know that many of the symptoms we associate with aging can be dramatically improved with the right approach. By subscribing, you'll gain access to detailed guidance on everything from joint health and cognitive function to digestive wellness and energy optimization, all delivered with the same practical, science-backed approach you've seen today. Click the subscribe button and notification bell now to ensure you never miss the information that could transform your health journey. Remember, the quality of your daily life is deeply connected to the quality of your sleep, and restful nights without constant bathroom trips are within your reach. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to supporting you on your path to better health.